And last, but certainly not least, and I definitely am going to keep an eye on this because I want to make sure that we get the right folks in place on this. So we have House Bill 1207, Senate Bill 0674. And this particular bill is to establish an environmental justice commission. Let's pull the car over. Let's pull the car over real quick. Now, what is important about commissions? So if you, again, if you have an opportunity to go back and listen to a couple of the interviews I did with Urban Habitat, they have a Boards and Commissions Leadership Institute, BCLI, that has other chapters outside of California that train people on how to join and be a part of and empower folks for how to be a part of commissions. And you're probably saying, okay, girl, well, why is that even important? Why should a person want to even be involved in this? And I will say that it's important for a lot of reasons. First of all, if you are a person with a lived experience, you need to be on those boards. You need to be on those commissions. If you are someone that knows about what goes on in low-income housing, has ever had a crappy landlord who doesn't fix stuff when they're supposed to, who is, but constantly raising that rent, and you're looking around like, girl, I don't see no granite countertops in this bitch. Could you please tell me why the rent's going up? Because it's definitely looking like hard times in this hoe. So I'm confused. You need to have your voice amplified. And being a part of commission, even though it is slow goings, even though it can be slow goings, it can be challenging. It teaches you other skills. It teaches you primarily how the system works. And that is why, again, I advocate very hard and very thoroughly for understanding your state and local legislative process, because these are the systems that impact you the most. I know there's a lot of happy joy and stuff about what's going on federally, I guess, but where the magic happens that's going to affect you the most, it's at the state level. So for this particular commission, it would be to work with the Commission on Climate Change and create projects that would help to address environmental justice issues. So of course, I think this actual commission has about 20 people or 20 slots, and some of them do have to come from other state agencies. But there is opportunity, I would say, for folks who have an interest to put it out there and try to become a part of it. And I think this would take effect later this year if it goes all the way through and is signed. And I would certainly encourage folks, if you are interested, or if you've been thinking about it and keeping a pulse on this and knowing that it was going to come forward, I would definitely encourage you to consider being a part of this board. And for those who are not in the state of Maryland, I would also encourage you to get with your local delegates, get with your state senators, and I would talk to them about the need to have this. So we're coming to the crossroads. And as we're entering in it, I'm actually going to bring in another piece. So we're going to talk about the TransCanada pipeline. A pipeline, yes. So first, shout out to the Chesapeake Climate Action Network for all their hard work that they're putting into making certain that this gets amplified. So there's work being done right now to establish a pipeline in Maryland, right? It's the same company that was behind the Keystone Pipeline, that's TransCanada. And even though the Keystone Pipeline has technically been, stopped by President Biden, this one, not so much. So why am I bringing this sort of like monkey wrench into the situation? First of all, to let you know that, yes, we have a lot of issues going on. We've got police accountability. There have been so many unarmed Black men killed in the last couple of years in the state of Maryland that it has sparked outrage, it has sparked protest, and it's going to continue. So yes, police accountability is a big topic, and for good reason. We also have to absolutely address the issues that we are facing currently as it relates to this pandemic. I don't know about other folks, but there seems to be some confusion going on about who can get these vaccines, how it's going to be, where the test centers are. So these are all things that have to be addressed. But all the while, there's also Larry Hogan and his neck made of fatback thinking that it is an awesome idea to put a pipeline through rural communities underneath or around the Potomac River, which is our what? Our drinking water. This is our primary watershed we're talking about, right? We have all these different estuaries and rivers that flow and create our watershed that flow into the Potomac and subsequently into the Atlantic Ocean. And this big faced dummy is talking about, oh girl, let's build ourselves a pipeline. No. Oh no. And this is information that I was not privy to, but I'm a gal about town, so I know some peeps. And so they let me know that this is what's going down, right? And this is what I'm telling you. So this is why I'm bringing this up. This is things that are currently going on, an organization that is currently working to address this issue and spread the word. And that is why I'm bringing it out. I'm talking about all of this and the importance of getting involved and using these organizations as an example of what people-powered movement is for and what it's all about. P.D. Green, as I mentioned, was very critical of politicians. He literally said that they put on those suits and they forget where they came from. Now, they may not forget where they came from necessarily, but their ambition, right? Their ambition means that they're a little less inclined to be as concerned about where they came from as where they're going. So for those of us who want to stay in the community, for those of us who want to make sure that the community is not some place that we leave behind, that is why it's important for you to get involved. That's why it's important for you to know these bills. Not every single damn one, because you will go insane. Trust me, I have tried, and I am nobody's policy wonk. I know people who do the policy and can tell me about it, and I try to do the best that I can to research it myself. But the reason that I'm doing this and the reason that I'm putting my time into this is because it's important, because it matters. So, I could talk more and more, and I will, because now that I've been made aware of this, I'm damn sure going to be talking about it more in the future. But this is why it's important to build your community and build your network so that you realize that you don't have to do everything. Especially when you can rely on me to do it or when you can rely on other folks to help you to understand what's going on. So as I said before, I mentioned the TransCanada pipeline. I am going to be keeping my eye out on it. I am going to be tracking these bills that I mentioned. And if you are interested in learning about what's going on, I implore you, I urge you, get to know your local representatives. You can, in fact, see them at the grocery store. You can see them at the gym. You can email them, and they should respond to you. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you don't like the response you are getting, you should feel free. You should feel free to let that person know. And also, if you feel called to serve, go do it. I mentioned Gary Chambers Jr. I'm actually really proud to say that one of my friends who's a guest in residence on this show, Brandy Brooks, is running for county council at large in Montgomery County. So if you believe that you can do something, go do it. There is nothing to stop you. There will always be people who tell you that you can't do something, that you're not qualified, that you don't know enough. But I want you to know that that is all false and a false narrative, just like waste of energy. So again, if you are interested in learning more about the bills and where they stand for Maryland's legislative session, you can go to the Maryland General Assembly website. Also, if you do not live in the state of Maryland, but you want to keep a pulse on what is going on from a legislative perspective, go to Legiscan. That's LEGISCAN.com.